So, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Meraj Kidwai. I hope you all are doing wonderfully well and taking good care of yourselves. To know more about me, check out vertexthesolution.com and you will find all the details about me there. Today, I'm going to talk about a very different topic based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That was a theory proposed by Abraham Maslow. I'm going to break it down: love and belongingness, the pyramidal need here, in detail and in deep, giving a bit of background that when we didn't have the internet, or when we didn't have this much of awareness of information available or feasible to access easily or afford to access easily, relationships aren't that much complex in past few years or decades. But now, as we have more accessibility of the information, we have more awareness around us, understanding ourselves better based on our own needs of our own species. The relationship is already such a complex topic, because it has involvement of human psychology, which involves humans of different personalities and behaviors based on backgrounds, their circumstances, etc. And therefore, it's becoming more and more complex. More loneliness, more depression, more breakups, more divorces. The structure is shaking. Why? I mean, it needs research further. I'm sure if there will be any, I will bring it up on this channel. So, the problem is, we live in a fantasy world with our own expectations, irrespective of the reality around us. Now, we can say that it is empathy to understand what other person is feeling. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about empathy in this particular video. I'm going to break it down: love as a need and a desire. Love is certainly a need of human to survive. Okay, it's a desire, it's a need. Contrary, what type of love it is, and what type of need a human feels of that love. And when the definition varies between two people, the conflict happens, the trauma happens, the depression and loneliness increases. So when you're aware that there are different types of love is not just one type of a love is there. There are different types, different definitions of love. And you must understand that there is no love like Romeo, Juliet, Mills and Boons. That kind of love doesn't exist in the real world. That kind of a love doesn't exist. It's all imaginary. It's an imagination, Love is based on needs and desires of a person, of a human. It can be philia, it can be ludus, it can be storge, it can be eros, it can be, self-love, it can be a gap. Any type of love it can be. And in that particular relationship with a person, that kind of a person has an expectation of a ludus love, and you are looking for familial love. Then the conflict happens. Oh, that person did this to me. That person did that to me. That person this, that person that. World is like this, world is like that. No. World is like when the world has started. Human is like when the humans were born and the species had started. The problem is with the fantasy world people live in. The expectations they may have from others based on their own fantasies, a fairy tale. So certainly life isn't a fairy tale. There is no fairy tale. There is no story of Cinderella which is real. That's the brutal and blunt reality. The reality is human life is driven based on desires and needs. When it's a need for somebody that you should be in their life based on what kind of a need it is, you are there with them. How long it is, you are there with them. When it is not required, you're not there. And this is what you do with others as well. When you become sacrificing in nature, too much sacrifices you're making, it becomes parasitic for people around you. Okay? And when you are becoming too much giving in nature, it becomes low self-esteem. You don't have self-worth because you're giving more. So that develops into a definition. Because probably if you're doing something for society, leave the society, delete this word society here. If you're doing something for a person you love, you think you love him or her and you want to keep them in your life, and you're making a lot of sacrifices, like your parents do. The parents do for the children. They bring them in the world, they sacrifice on sleep, they sacrifice on finances, they sacrifice on many, many different aspects for the children to raise them up. And some parents even don't do that, right? It depends on parent to parent because it depends on their personality and psychology. So that kind of a love is storge love, familial love, where they are requiring you to be in their life. And if the child doesn't reciprocate the same way, anyone has, either the reciprocity has to be equal or one becomes selfish. Either the person who is taking and not giving back is the selfish, and other one is just giver and giver, giving the love. The dynamic becomes unhealthy when it's not equal. It becomes equal when the parents had made sacrifices for you, and when they become weak in their life, you are there for them. You're supporting them emotionally, financially, psychologically. You are standing for them because they had done a lot of things for you. But they're not expecting it from you. Parents doesn't expect this from their children, that we are doing something for my child, so my child will give this back to me. No, they don't do this with this kind of an intention. But when you grow up and you become an adult and you start your own life and you explore other areas of your life, then you realize, oh, मम्मी तो मेरे लिए खाने पे वेट करती थी, अब तो कोई वेट नहीं करता. My father was after my life. बेटा ऐसे ही कर लो, वैसे ही कर लो, ऐसा कर लो, ऐसे गाइड करते थे. अब तो कोई गाइड करने वाला नहीं रहा. There is no guide or mentor in my life. That was my father who used to tell me, oh, you have to make your career, you have to fill this form, you have to save money, you have to do fixed deposit, you have to build assets and this and that, and now nobody is there to guide me. Nobody cares. You get bankrupt or something, nobody cares about it. But when you are at your peak, people come in your life. Oh, that person is so and so, that person has this much of bank balance, that person has such a personality, such a social circle, this and that. Now they come into your life. So you need to define love. What type of love somebody is expecting from you. And then we have love for God, universal, agape. We believe in Him. We believe that He loves us and we love Him back by not doing anything wrong. That's our belief system. We are not hurting other individuals, hurting other human beings, doing anything wrong because we have fear. If we will do this, the God will get angry on us. Then we have self-love. We care for ourselves. Dunya jaye bhaad mein. Go to hell. If you don't value me, go to hell. I will care for myself. I have my studies, I have my job, I have my career, I have my everything around me. I'm not gonna give it up for you, for all things you have done for me, in case. So then we have ludus. Ludus is a type of love. It's a love that needs filling of a person's desires, and you are looking for a familiar love from that person. You are looking to build home with that person, and that person has ludus love for you. Then the definition varies, and then the conflict happens. So the point I'm trying to make it here, there is the need for love is there, need for belongingness is there, but what type of love? We have definitions and types of love. So when we live in a fantasy world, we live in a poetic world, we live in a fictional world, which an author or poet sketch to attract the readers, to addict to their imaginations. Because that poet is also a human, that author is also a human. They also had some fantasies, unfulfilled fantasies they may had. And they write about those fantasies, and you get addicted to those fantasies. And then you believe, oh, such things exist. Then you try to find in your own life around you, and you will not find it because it's an imagination, it's a fiction. The reality is pretty different from a fiction. And that is why people get into depression, loneliness, and many things around it. When you stick to reality, when you stick to your own self and you believe on yourself, your self-worth won't go down, your self-esteem won't go down. You will feel less, you will be hurted because what you've expected didn't turn out that way. You were expecting familiar love, somebody is having ludus love, then you definitely get, affected. Oh, that person is that kind of a person. I wish I could knew earlier, right? So take people on face values. When you start taking them on face values, then you will be less hurted, less traumatized. I would not say that you will not be traumatized, because life is like that. There are different sort of experiences, different human personalities and psychologies around you. But still, you will protect your well-being, emotional and physical and financial and all sorts of well-being around you, right? So understand and differentiate love, understand the definition of love and belongingness, because don't forget it is a need. It is a need. It will remain a need. Don't chase to fulfill someone's needs when it has to be mutual, it's practical, then you will be less hurted. You will not get into depression. Don't chase any other's needs to fulfill. You are a need for somebody, fine. That has to be mutual. It's practical. Then you are not hurting yourself. Then you are not, whether it's friendship. I'm not just talking about marriages or romantic kind of love. Whether it's even friendship between two friends, right? So it has to be equal. The definition, उसकी भी वही definition होनी चाहिए जो आपकी definition है. That person should also have the similar definition. What definition you have, then only you are able to go. That's what compatibility is all about. What else is compatibility? Right? So then only you are able to run in the long run. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. And that's the brutal reality of human life. So I've broke down love and belongingness in this particular video. Share your feedback with me. Quite straightforward video this is. I hope I'm able to hit right. And I mean, in my opinion, I do not believe in Romeo, Juliet and Jack droning for Rose, that kind of a love at all. I don't believe in it. It doesn't exist. Not at all. Sacrificing is only God or your parents. And that too, some parents, not all type of parents. I can't talk about all the parents in the world. I've seen that kind of parents also. So, but it depends. It depends. So, sacrificing is only God. So, if you want that kind of a love, believe in God, become spiritual, go towards Him, pray, do good in life, and become sacrificing, right? करो और भूल जाओ, नेकी करो कुएं में डालो kind of thing, right? If you are looking for sacrificing love, and that love is for God, and God loves you back. वो love आपको इंसानों में नहीं मिलता. That love you will not find in human beings. And you are finding that sacrificing love for yourself. इंसान तो भगवान या खुदा नहीं हो सकता ना, इंसान तो इंसान ही रहेगा. तो डेफिनेशन ही गलत है, एक्सपेक्टेशन फैंटेसी वाली है आपकी. तो कैसे इट विल वर्क? इंसान हैज़ ल्यूडस लव एंड यू आर लुकिंग फॉर सैक्रिफाइसिंग लव. वो नहीं मैच होगा ना. तो यू कीप ऑन chasing those things and you will not find it. So the point what I'm trying to make here by breaking this down for you, when you become realistic, then you're able to find a way in your life ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Keep subscribing, keep viewing my channel, support my channel, like and share, and bring up some views please. And thank you very, very much for listening. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.